Has anyone attended the Brooklyn Independent Comic Showcase hosted by St. Mark's Comics in Industry City in Brooklyn, New York? Yep, myself and my daughter had a booth there. It was a 2-day event. I think it was April 18th and the 19th. We were selling TYR free character concept shirts, mugs, keychains, and of course, the graphic novel Isis Omega. We would have been more successful if we were selling weed and assorted drug paraphernalia. I can tell you right now that it is not a comic con for people with comics to sell. This is an event that is best for independent artists and people that sell stickers and pins. Those were the people making some money. The whole thing was more like a flea market. The people that had actual comics to sell were complaining like crazy because almost no one came to buy comic books. The other problem with the Brooklyn Independent Comic Showcase is that it's free. So people were basically coming in and just browsing and not buying much of anything except knickknacks and trinkets. If it was an event that you had to pay to enter, then people would be more inclined to buy something. Because once you pay money to get into some place, you don't want to leave empty-handed, you know what I'm saying? The Brooklyn Independent Comic Showcase was separated into 3 rooms. The red room, which is the largest, and the blue and yellow rooms, which are on the left and right side of the red room. The red room is huge, and it's a lot to take in. There's close to 300 tables. If you are one of the tables that are kind of on the fringes of the red room, by the time people actually make it to your table, they're pretty much over the entire Comic-Con experience. I was table 288. And there were a couple of people that were disappointed that they had already spent money before actually getting to my table. But since my table was one of the last tables before the exit, that's just the type of shit that happens. You just don't want to be the table by the exit. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, the yellow and blue rooms were ghost towns. Many of the creators there were complaining that no one was really coming in there at all. As I said earlier, the red room was a lot to take in. It was huge. You can give 2 shits about anything after walking through almost 300 table exhibits. For my table, I spent about maybe $225, and it was definitely one of the worst locations, being table 288. But according to the director, most of the red room seats were sold out within a month, so I got one of the last seats that they had available. So if you're going to go, make sure that you purchase your ticket within the first 15 days of the applications being open. I waited about, I think, a month and a half and got the last table down there. If you are a comic book creator, I would say do not waste your time or money on the Brooklyn Independent Comic Showcase under any circumstances. God, I want to stress that. I have emailed the director about changing the name. It is the Brooklyn Independent Artist Alley and Flea Market. That is exactly what it is. Shit, there should have been an Amish stand in there selling baked goods and cuts of meat. They would have fucking cleaned up. And don't even get me started on the fact that people were walking in there and using the location just for social media posts and blog posts. Meanwhile, they didn't buy shit. It was just something they did to provide content for their social media pages. But once again, if they had to pay to get in, then it wouldn't have been so many instances of that. St. Mark's Comics should be ashamed to put their name on this event. The Brooklyn Independence Comic Showcase is more of a con than anything to do with comics. I wish I could have my $225 back, but you know, never again, you assholes. Never again. Hopefully, this was an informative video and a helpful video. That con comes out every year. Avoid it at all costs if you're a comic creator. But if you're an artist, go right ahead. When I tell you it's right up your alley, but just remember, you got a lot of competition there. So be aware. Other than that, that's it. Hope everyone has a good and safe day. This is TYR Free. Take it light, folks.